today I will talk on pathogenesis of discitis, advancement in diagnosis, modalities, and treatment approaches. I am working as assistant professor of NATOR, that is our National Institute in Bangladesh. So discitis refers to an inflammation of the intervertebral disc often linked to infection. If it is not diagnosed and treated promptly, can lead to debilitating neurological injury. So it is a very rare but serious disease, and incidence is around 0.5 to 2.4 cases per 1 lakh per year in USA. We have no statistics. Actually, it is seen in bimodal age distribution, frequently seen in early childhood and over 50 years of age. And patient usually present with predominantly back pain that is present in 90% of the cases. It is agonizing, localized, non-radiating, not response to traditional analgesic. Sometimes fever may be present or other symptoms like paraspinal muscle spasm, abdominal discomfort, weight loss, neurological deficit may be present. So clinical suspicion is must. Sometimes it may take 2 to 6 months to diagnose. So basically the difference between adult and children is neurological deficit. Children are luckily spared for neurological deficit in most of the cases. And in case of spine surgery, the estimated risk is around 0.1 to 4%. So you have to be very cautious regarding surgery to avoid this discitis. And pathogenesis basically involve the causative organism like bacterial, viral and fungal, and Staph aureus, Streptococcus, and Mycobacterial are the main culprit. And usually it spreads from the hematogenous, spreads from a primary site or direct inoculation during the surgery or invasive procedure or maybe the contiguous extension. And the anatomy is very important because the adult, the disc is avascular stage structure, and basically it is supplied by from end plate that is actually supplied by metaphyseal vessel. When there is the emboli formation in metaphyseal vessels, it causes lysis and destruction, ultimately spread to the discitis. Children, usually the metaphyseal vessel penetrate the disc. So that's why direct inoculation can be possible. So if we want to diagnose, first of all, clinical suspicious is very important. Then you have to do some lab test as well as the imaging modalities. CBC is not so important because it is not raised in most of the cases. The main important thing is the ESR and CRP. If you see that CRP level is raised in 2 occasions in 2 weeks, there must be suspicious of discitis. Blood culture sometimes can help you, and expensive investigation like procalcitonin has a very limited role. So MRI is very highly sensitive and specific. Other investigation like PET scan, PCR, and biopsy sometimes can help you. So for diagnosis, you must need a collaboration with other surgeons, infection specialists, and radiologists. And to eradicate the infection and to relieve the pain, you have to consider either the conservative or operative. Conservative basically by empirical IV antibiotics for 2 to 4 weeks. Once the culture is available, then you can continue it for 8 to 12 weeks. And whenever conservative is not responding, in that case, you may consider the surgery. Surgery basically we do the debridement, decompression, as well as the fusion. And sometimes biopsy is needed. So minimal invasive procedure like endoscopic debridement and transverse fusion as well as targeted drug delivery systems sometimes can help you. So if you can treat it conservative, I mean the earlier with a very good prognosis, if it is delayed, patient may present with complication. So in conclusion, I would like to say that early diagnosis is very critical. You have to consider every case conservatively. When the conservative is failed, then you can consider surgery. And in every cases, you need to multidisciplinary collaboration for a better outcome. Thank you. Thank you for patience hearing.